Okay, we have the herding group coming in. Edweena McDowell, known to her friends as Teddy. Used to see her a lot when I was out in the Midwest. She is a corgi breeder, I do believe, if I remember correctly. And here they come.
Karen Peaks asks if Best in Show is next. We're only on the third group.
This is the third group. This is the third group we've got going right here. And I see some different dogs and a few the same. One of the great things about the Portland Dog Show is it's a big venue, so everybody works real hard to keep themselves in their fancy outfits. This is definitely a hometown hero, Rough Collie.
You should definitely say it's the third out of 7 groups in case anybody...
Yes, the third out of 7 groups, yeah. If you didn't know that, then we'll help you know.
For the layman like me.
Mrs. McDowell bringing them in slow and steady so everybody gets a good chance to look at each of the dogs. She can watch them move around.
Zooming into the happy kids in the back, they're so excited.
Yeah, there's a whole line of looks like folks from the public actually come to watch the dog show. Like I say, they love this. The local community very supportive. They have the children's art contest here. Schools will frequently bring classes of students here. I think I saw some of the AKC Dog Show Patch Kids come through this weekend. So it's really a great community effort.
Gazing over the top.
Brian Martin, our AKC representative, snuck up behind me, and I was a little bit terrified that I did something bad. But he tells me I'm safe. Whew! German Shepherd dog this evening is a repeat performance. Grand Champion Rosewood's Galileo, bred by Bo Vujovic and Michael Bristow. Owned by Dave and Ann Blackie and William Pedersen. Watch some of these handlers, particularly the folks with German Shepherds, they're really careful about starting that dog off cautiously and collected and very focused on what they're doing, so that the dog can hit its stride and look good from the very first step instead of spending the first step discombobulated. Belgian Tavern, another repeat from last night. Michelle Edling, of course, with Grand Champion Sky Acres Maximum Altitude, bred and owned by Michelle. Another of our breeder owner handlers who has definitely perfected the craft of showing and presenting their breed at its height. Our Briard this evening, being shown by Stevie Collins, down from Alaska. The dog is also from Alaska. This is Champion Legion of Boom de Béjou, bred by Meg Whites and Michael Greenberg, owned by Patrice Weinmeister and Meg Whites.
Somebody said Otter Pop.
Otter Pop. No, not Otter Pop. This is a Briard.
Somebody said no Aussie?
Yes, there is an Australian Shepherd, and there's also a miniature American Shepherd. They're just not yet to reach our exam area.
I like how the hair flows.
Briards are amazing, and they talk about the specifically the tail, how it's carried. Is supposed to look like a shepherd's crook, and they have double dew claws in the rear. They have to have the double dew claws in the rear, and that big heavy coat is very thick and very insulating in the correct coat texture. And the head is also can't remember the exact proportions. It's been too long since I showed one, but the head is something about the same length as the body. If you put it's just a crazy. What the length of skull and muzzle they want on that breed is pretty impressive.
Very fantastic. Mm-hmm. The owner says that's the nickname for the dog is Otter Pop.
Otter Pop, got it. There you go. Good job, Otter Pop.
Shout out to
Hey,
Otter.
owner, maybe you can tell me what's the standard on the head? It's gone out of my head, and now I'm embarrassed, and I want to know. Larry Fenner up here with the Bouvier. Patty Kleeken's dog. This is Grand Champion JBB's Turn the Tables, bred by Patty Kleeken, Yvonne Savard, and Ray Waterman, owned by Patty and Yvonne.
Square.
Okay.
I'm a square?
Yeah, you're not square.
More round.
You and me both, Phil. There's a reason we're behind the cameras, not in front of it, dude. All right, our smooth collie this evening. And this is another one of those times where you see sometimes a class dog beats the specials, beats the champions. This is an open dog called Susitna's Wanted Man of Terradells. Sorry guys, if I've butchered your kennel name, I apologize. Katrina Hardig and Kathleen Hardig are the breeders, and Kathleen and Margaret Nelson are the owners. Also from Anchorage, Alaska.
Guess they wanted to escape the snow for a
Yep,
little bit.
yep. For
Get
all
some
you
liquid
Alaskans,
sunshine.
all you Alaskans that would like to be above freezing most of the time, wet instead of white, come on down to Portland. I was told by some of my friends from Alaska they no longer have a January show, so a lot of folks have come down to Rose City Classic to have a chance at a dog show. Here's your Australian Shepherd you guys were looking for. The Australian Shepherd this evening is Champion Mountain Woods Backcountry Dashing, bred by Kaylin Wood, owned by Lindsay, Courtney, and Leah Dowling, and Kaylin Messina, also from Alaska. It's a big Alaskan herding group. Check this out, kids.
Alaska 2 Dash apparently is the nickname.
Dash is the Australian Shepherd. Very good. Blue Merle. Of course, Aussies come in such a cool variety of colors. Those of you who aren't familiar with the breed, Blue Merle, everything from Blue Merle to Black Tri and Red Merle, and it's just a cool breed. They do have limits on the amount of white they can have in their markings. It's a cool thing to know.
What about the eyes? Are they always 2 different colors?
The eyes can be 1, 2, any number of different colors. Same, different, it's all good. Our Old English this evening, again, with Heather Johnson, in from the Fort Collins, Colorado area. Colorado Springs, I lied. Colorado Springs. Champion Bugaboos Let It Go Blue Mountain, bred by Pam Henry, owned by Doug Johnson and Michael Ann, which is Colton's parents, and Colton and Heather Johnson.
Surprisingly, we have more people tuned in today than the last 3 days.
Well, Phil tells me there's more of you watching tonight than there have been for the previous days, and I have to say, I think that's probably because y'all are getting used to this idea, and think this is a pretty good way to watch a dog show. And I think one of the things we always tell people at the dog show is stay and watch the groups. And I think that part of what we run into in today's society is people are so busy that they can't always do that. And so we really love this as a way for people to get to stay and watch the groups without physically being here.
It's pretty impressive.
Technology at its finest. Technology and social media put to good use. And our Australian cattle dog this evening is Grand Champion Have You Heard? Now that's a cute kennel name. Have You Heard? H-E-R-D. I love that.
I like it.
I know. Grand Champion Have You Heard's happy to be a castaway.
Very clever.
Yes, very clever. Bred by Kelly Nichols. Owned by Kelly Nichols, shown here by Adrian Guillaume from Northern California.
For those of you tuning in, don't forget to like the Pure Dog Talk site on Facebook and Blue Dog Northwest.
Absolutely. If you don't like us already, you definitely ought to, because you clearly like what you're seeing. And hopefully like what you're hearing. And if you
Preferably.
don't, say so.
If you don't, well, like it anyway.
He's pushier than I am. I'm lots nicer. Okay. Our rough collie this evening is Champion Mila's Moxie La Di Da, bred by Diane Fitzpatrick, Lynn Hyman Butler, and Lotta Hedman, owned by Melinda Barber and Stuart Smith, shown here by Alexandra Erb. These are local folks, definitely just down Centralia, Washington, just up the road.
You said the name. I had to do a double take. I remember when she was in 4-H.
Alexandra, yeah. I was impressed not too long ago. She was judging a sweepstakes assignment. I was like, good girl. Yeah, once again, this is, like I say, a family sport. Alexandra's here with her daughter. Her daughter's, I don't know, maybe 7, dressed up in the cutest little outfit, showing a rough collie, her own dog, in the ring. So,
Good thing.
you know, this is the family sport aspect of dog shows. You know, a lot of people get caught up in who's number one this and who's number one that, and kind of miss out on some of the part that to me was pretty important when I was a kid growing up, and is for a lot of other kids.
Somebody missed the X marks the spot, but I did get
Yes,
the dog at least.
Lauren again missed the mark. I'm telling you, Lauren, we're going to call you on this. All right, Entel Booker Mountain Dog Champion Alpenglows Axel, bred by John May and Janine May, and owned by the breeders. And Lauren House, you're now on a 2 strikes. on the X. Somebody out there in Facebook land, make sure she knows to go to the X next time.
Any handlers watching, waiting for their group, look for the X.
Right. Everybody
Otherwise,
watch
I
for
can
your
only
X.
zoom in on your butt.
Truly, that's not going to be acceptable behavior. So go to the X. Herding group is full here of some of the newer and less common herding dogs, the Entleigh Bucher, the Norwegian Buhan. We have a Finnish Lapphund and a Icelandic sheepdog. I mean, this is a Pumi. It's a really pretty good.
Somebody just told her to go to the X. Awesome.
Good job, listeners. All right, our Buhund this evening is champion Jotun Kola Karina AV Cloud Point, bred by Vali Eberhardt and Amelia McLaughlin John Bradstreet, owned by Vali Eberhardt. It's a young dog. This is just over a year old. And your Finnish Lapphund this evening is from the open dog class. This is Utori's Luck of the Irish, bred by Lynn Drum and Kathy Pollack, owned by Mariki Haynes and Lynn Drum and Bonnie Now. And this is, I do believe, Mariki handling the dog.
It's always interesting to see all the booths and things coming down around us.
Yes, Sunday night at the dog show, one of the extreme challenges of Sunday night groups at the dog show, particularly if you have a noise-sensitive dog, is everybody's tearing down the rings. They're tearing down their grooming. They're tearing down the vendor booths. And there's more than normal amount of crashing and banging. So Sunday night groups present a variety of challenges. Shetland Sheepdog this evening, Grand Champion Syringa Acadia the Corsair, bred by Deborah Sordowski and Shanley Waller-Machowski, owned by Tyler Crady and Deborah Sordowski, and shown here by Tyler.
She's mentioned this.
Yeah, and there goes Wheels. I mean, it's just that's what
Wheels
Sunday
are
night
turning.
at the dog show is. This time of day can be a bit of a challenge. So remember that, you guys, when you're packing up. Dogs are still being shown in the groups, so a little courtesy to your group exhibitors. Not all of the dogs are bomb-proof out there.
Looks like a happy little dog.
Yeah, generally speaking, I think it shows like a quite happy little attitude. Obviously very well trained. I think these Icies are just adorable. It's the Icelandic Sheepdog, another one of the newer breeds. This is Grand Champion Run Amok Hymna Arcturus. Couple agility titles going for him. Bred by Elizabeth Harvey and owned by Malia McAuliffe. Sorry, you can hear the banging and breaking down off to the side.
This one has dew claws in the rear.
I'm thinking Ices. Now, I totally do not know, so I'm not going to swear to this, but they could well be one of the breeds that requires dew claws in the rear.
This one does.
Well, some of the breeds actually require it, right? Like the Briard requires double dew claws in the rear. And if they're not there, did you notice you went back and checked that Briard to double check for the double dew claws?
It's interesting. I was unaware of it.
Yeah. Each standard is, obviously its own thing, and each is designed to fit that breed's purpose. Here's your Pumi with...
See, I just thought the judge was giving the dog a foot massage.
No, most dogs don't really like foot massages, to be honest with you. Our Pumi this evening, Grand Champion Biqua Opal with Tom Levy, bred known by Chris and Tom Levy. I think Pumis are pretty darn cute. Those little koala bear faces. Talking to Tom and Chris on one of our Pure Dog Talk interviews, they mentioned these are real serious hardcore herding dogs.
You said yesterday they were smart. That's a good thing.
Okay, our mini Aussie is Champion Northwest Aloha Phoenix Rising, bred and owned by Virginia Verville. I'm going to guess that's Virginia showing her. Mini Australian Shepherd. Mini American Shepherd. I have been not reading my catalog properly.
Uh-oh.
And actually the Merle color and the Mini American Shepherd as well.
A lot of husband and wife teams do a lot of handling these days.
Well, husband and wives in dog handling professionally specifically is pretty much the norm. I've always been one of the few that was a single person handling, and it's tough because in order to carry the number of dogs that is, makes it make money, makes it a profitable business expedition. It's you can't really do that with one person.
You got to drive, taking shifts helps.
Yeah, it's very, very hard physical work, and people who do it at the highest level, having a partner in crime, if you will, is definitely a plus. Our Cardigan Welsh Corgi here this evening is being handled by Sonny Yeager. This is Grand Champion White Heart Absolute Hexads, Hyad. I'm pretty sure that those are herding titles that I just don't know the names of. Yep. I'm going with White Heart Absolute, bred by Barbara Miller and owned by Barbara Miller.
Never knew there were multiple types of corgis.
Well, there's not really multiple types. There are definitely two different breeds. They're not varieties. They're both obviously Cardigan Welsh Corgi, Pembroke Welsh Corgi. They're from Wales. The Pembroke is how you remember which one is which. The Pembroke, the tail broke off. So this is your Pembroke Welsh Corgi. Grand Champions Mischief Afoot, Arrows Solid Alibi, being handled by Colin Stone. Bred by Kathleen Kirby and Stephen Kirby. Owned by Rob and Michelle Wilson. Michelle told me she was going to be watching on live stream. So if you're out there, Michelle, shout out. distinct differences in look between the Pembroke Welsh Corgi and the Cardigan Welsh Corgi. The Cardigan has bigger ears, it has a tail, obviously. There's some differences, my understanding, there's some differences in how they work, how they do their work. So, Ms. McDowell's brought out the German Shepherd, the Belgian Tervuren, the Bouvier, Old English Sheepdog, Bouvier de Flandre.
I feel like we need a song and
Shetland
some fresh
Sheepdog.
cappuccino.
Oh my gosh, the Pumi, there you go. And there's the Pembroke Welsh Corgi.
Quite a few people keep saying go Arrow. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure Arrow is the Pembroke Welsh Corgi
Okay.
with Colin Stone there. Let's go. There goes the German Shepherd.
And the Cardigan is allowed more color.
And the Cardigan is a loud merle color. There you go. The Pembroke definitely is not. Belgian Tervuren. There we go. Bouvier. Mr. Fenner. Another husband and wife handling team.
Husband, wife, and kids.
Yes. Multi-generational. And this is Heather and Colton. Colton's parents handled dogs and very successfully in Colorado for a lot of years. Bred Bouviers and Old English Sheepdogs. And here's your Pumi. Little faces.
Pumi always looks like he has a question for you.
Colin, of course, comes from family. His mom, Shannon Stone, breeds Cardigan Welsh Corgis, another second generation dog kid. First to the Old English, second to the Tervuren, third to the Sheltie, and fourth to the Pumi. A nice placement for a rare breed. Nice. I know the Tom is excited about that.